This is Boxing Tickets NIE. We are here at the warehouse in the Red Cow. Delighted to be joined with the big boss, Shane McConnell. Firstly, obviously, I want to say welcome back. What obviously a way to welcome yourself back. Obviously, 16/17 months since your first pro fight, second pro fight. Wow.
So thank God I'm back, but the weight has done me well. So it went well, it went as good as the first one went. Hopefully the next one goes the same, and hopefully they all go the exact same way. But I'm sure at some point I'll run into a bit of a hard test. But for now, thank God.
You'd obviously said in the build-up, obviously you were going to get revenge for obviously Paul Ryan, obviously getting beaten by Fabrizio. Obviously, did you think it would come so quickly? 40 seconds of the first round, I think it was officially the end of the fight. Did you think it would come so quick?
I never think of how quick it will come or what round. I always think people picking rounds, except the absolute greats, are just kind of pulling it out of their arse. I always know, though, that if I land clean, they'll get hurt. Ever since about midway through my Thai boxing career till now, anytime I've ever landed on someone clean with a small glove, they just do not like it whatsoever. I'm a very heavy puncher. A little bit wild, but very heavy.
I'm sure obviously someone that's not here tonight obviously will make sure they pass on their thanks to obviously Paul Ryan. Obviously, we know obviously if anybody gets caught with a shot, they can go down, and obviously unfortunately happened with Paul last time out. But you obey he calls fighters sexy, and obviously he's obviously been names for people. So you're high up on his Christmas card list this year, I'm sure.
I probably have another while to go on that one. Now, Paul would have a nice high level of what's sexy, but look, that fight is no mark on Paul's career whatsoever. It's a funny one that I got picked to fight him next because I got stopped years ago in my Thai boxing career in the exact same way, by the exact same shot. I got put down with 2 shots the exact same way after it, and it didn't change anything. So, no difference.
I've sort of said to Paul privately that obviously that stoppage defeat could probably do his career wonders, because people that wouldn't fight him previously now will obviously think, if I land on this chin, I can do the same thing. So he might actually get more fights out of a stoppage defeat.
He will for one fight, and then when they see him again, they'll realise, oh shit, I be sparring Paul all the time, and like 80% of the time I can't land a glove on him. So, the only way to get in on him is make it messy and wild. He's a fantastic boxer, really amazing, and also punches very hard. So he's going to have a lot of people ducking him too.
3 years ago today, I think the journey started obviously in Pete Taylor's gym. Obviously, I'm sure when you thought of obviously going pro, you'd have probably thought by this stage you'd have probably had maybe a few more fights. Like, is now the plan to obviously get a bit of activity behind you? What would you like to do next?
Whenever the next easy fight is, whenever there's a little bit of money to go, whatever is next, I have no problem with.
A domestic fight, like obviously we know, it seems to be this weekend, obviously your name was thrown in the mix somewhere with obviously Peter Carr. Like, you're of a similar stature to Peter, the fact he's crossing over from obviously another sport into obviously professional boxing. Like, is Peter Carr an option for you next? Like, who would you like to fight next?
He's as much of an option as anybody else is. If we can agree on the weight, then no problem at all. We're very similar, but I've been doing it longer, I'm better, and I hit harder. But hey, he's great too. It wouldn't be an easy fight, but whoever it is.
I sort of asked obviously Peter what he would like to do next, and he said Sean Murray. I don't think it was he's avoiding you in some ways, probably he's probably seeing you just back after 15, 16, 17 months out of the ring, and he's thinking, let you obviously build a bit of activity so we can get you your best.
As much as I think I'd beat Peter, I still won't lie about him. He could see me knock out Mike Tyson, and he's just like me. He'd still get in and fight me. We're built from a similar cloth in that sense. He's a fighting man. I'm not a boxer. I'm not a Muay Thai fighter. I'm just a fighter. I've always been a fighter, and he's very much the same. Cross styles, always done his thing.
I guess in some ways, obviously, if it's not next, obviously it could then be potentially for an Irish title, so it could work out better. Like is obviously the plan to get you back out again as obviously as quickly as possible?
Yes, absolutely, 100%. We just need to work out my weight. This one I was kind of closer to super middle, and I quite liked it, but we'll see. I'll do a little bit more training, see how I can balance the weight. We're going to be between middle and super middleweight, so whatever way that works out, but absolutely anybody. Absolutely any man with blood in his veins.
I'm guessing obviously if you stay around super middleweight, there's less options. Well, there is actually quite a lot of options obviously at super middleweight as well, but do you obviously would you like to stay at super middle, or obviously would you like to move down?
I quite like walking around that little bit heavier, but I'd have to see, the performance is obviously the most important thing, but I do like being chunky. So we'll see.
Chunky and funky.
Chunky and funky.
Obviously, I'd seen someone coming into the ring, obviously a bit tearful. Was that your missus? Obviously, you know, what was it? Did she not like boxing? And obviously, seeing you in her in tears, like.
She just despises seeing me fight. There was actually one Thai boxing fight I had before, and from the get-go, I was destroying this lad. I dropped him twice or 3 times every single round for 3 rounds until I stopped him, and she was still in tears for the entire thing. And that was one of my quicker fights, and still she was just in bits. So her nerves would be at her, God love her.
Fair play there. She's actually, she doesn't like it and everything else. She's still coming to support you and everything else. Like, you know, I can only imagine, obviously, for somebody that doesn't like things, they watch it. So it's probably painful for her, the fact that she didn't want you to be in the receiving end of it.
Well, she very much enjoys boxing. Like, she'd happily watch a fight. She'd sit down and stay up for an pay-per-view card, and she'd watch it live. She just don't like me boxing, but she likes it afterwards.
it's one of them things that she's just going to have to get used to it, you know.
This was half her idea as well. She's in full support of it. She'd have no problem doing something very difficult in her life if it supported me. So she's my world at the minute.
You're glad to be back as well. Like, obviously, we don't want to go into too much, obviously, why you were sort of out of the ring, but you know, you're back. You've made a statement again. Like, that's 2-0 with 2 knockouts, and like even your Seamus Devlin one. Like, Seamus Devlin never gets stopped. I think he's actually returning to boxing again. He obviously took time out, but he's never stopped. So like, he made 2 statements now. You know, people's gonna, if they don't know who you are, they're going to know very, very quickly whenever they see your knockout hit social media.
For me, the biggest statement will always be if you see me live. You know, things look good in a video, but if you're there next to the ring, you can hear the bang of the punches, and it's not like the others on the card. It's just, I hit a little bit different.
Yeah, well, listen, great to catch up with you. Obviously, last time was Waterford, this time was Dublin. Maybe next time we might get you in Belfast.
Hopefully, absolutely. Hopefully on a big card. Hello, Mr. Conlon, please.
Listen, thanks very much for your time. Congratulations once again, and we'll catch up with you very soon.
Thank you. Absolutely.